Hello and welcome to our third project for our Christmas in July event with Venetia Ramsey from Scrapworx. For this project we're going to be using our pattern paper collection called Unforgettable, and we are going to be creating a little album in a lever arch file, so a mini album with a twist. All we're going to do is make some inserts that are going to go inside the album. Right, if you are using an album that is bigger than this one, so if it's longer and wider, all you need to do to be able to get your base pages the right size. So let me show you. If I have one, just a single one with nothing on, it's going to be easier. Okay, let's work with this one for example. So my base pages mine are 15 centimeters across and 22 centimeters down. I got to that by doing it this way. So if I can take all of these out quickly, I worked out how deep my pages need to be by measuring from here to here. So you can't measure from here because you need to be able to punch things. So I basically moved my ruler in, and I know the paper's going to lay there more or less. So I figured that my page needs to be 15 centimeters wide, and I measured from the top to the bottom. My album is 23 centimeters, so I just cut it 1 centimeter shorter to give me the 22. So if you can figure out what size your base pages are going to be, so these ones here, the 15 by 22, then everything else will resize. You can resize everything into that. So the important part is just to know how wide this piece needs to be when it goes in. So my suggestion is to take a piece of photocopy paper, work out what you think your size is going to be, punch a hole in it, put it in, and see. If it's going to be too long or too short, you can then make the necessary adjustments. Okay, so that's basically with how you're going to figure out the size of the pages in the album. If you're wanting then to resize all the little extras that go in, all I did was make mine 2 centimeters shorter than whatever your base page is for this, like for example. And then I just took off, I think it's 4 centimeters from the top and 4 centimeters, I like 3 centimeters off the top and 3 centimeters off the bottom, just to get it in the center. Yours doesn't have to be this wide. You can make it longer or shorter. The idea with this is just to give you an idea of what sort of insert you can do, and then you can just work it out to fit your pages. The pockets, I can quickly run through with that. That one, I'll give you some advice with that when you decide on how you're going to cut your pocket. Right, so with the pocket, the only thing you need to take into consideration when you decide is how deep you want your pocket to be. Okay, so I wanted mine to be 6 centimeters deep, and I know that it's got to be the full 22 centimeters of my page. Whatever the height of your page is, you need to add 1 centimeter at the top and 1 centimeter at the bottom. So in my case, my page is 22 high. I needed to add 1 centimeter at the top and 1 centimeter at the bottom, which will give me my 24 centimeters, so that I have 1 centimeter on each side to be able to make my pocket. And because I wanted this 6 centimeters, I had to cut it to 7 so that I could be able to make my pocket. So those are the kind of things you just need to take into consideration when you're resizing the pages in your lever arch file. Okay, so that gives you a basic idea of what you're in for with this mini album with a twist. So let's gather up our supplies and let's get started. Right, to cover the album, the lever arch file, I didn't want it to end up looking like a lever arch file. So you have two options. You can cover the edges like I have with washi tape. You can paint the file, or you can use some construction tape, whatever you have on hand. I've done one with washi, and I think I'm going to use the tape for this one. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is do the spine area. So because or you can paint it. It does hold up to paint quite nicely as well. So, but what I did is you can use your washi tape and then just cover this little ridge. That's what's nice about the washi tape, is that it'll allow you to do that. Where's my scissors? Okay. So it doesn't even have to be too neat. So I would make sure that I've got it covered like that. I think I'm going to move this so that it's right flush up against where the silver part of the lever arch file is. Okay, so I want to bump it up right against there. I don't want any of that white sticking out. Try again. Like that. Better. Much better. There we go. Then I'm going to use my scoring tool just to burnish the tape all the way around the little ridge, so that I have a good bond. And also then the ridges look like they add texture, and they look like they were meant to be there, because they can then, they're a dividing point between the front, the middle, and the back. So it gives you a clear definition, right? And then I'm going to put some tape again around, all the way around. So I'm going to put it, line it up here. With this one, I don't mind that it goes, it's actually better if it overlaps slightly, so that there you don't see the join on the front, on the back. So I'm going to take that all the way down, like that. Try not to put too much pressure on the tape. It doesn't matter what you're using. Don't pull on it, because it just adds tension to the cover. Right, so I've put it on firmly. It's not loose, but there's no tension either. And then I just want to line it up properly with this one, like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to work that in again. Then on this side, I'm going to make sure that I've got the tape on nice and smooth. Right. Right, there you go. I've managed to get it on a little bit better. It is still opening up a little bit, but I know that once it's had a chance just to be molded into the position it needs to be, it will be fine. If it's really bad, you can actually put a clip over here, a bull clip, and just leave it overnight. And then by tomorrow, it'll be where it should be. I mean, it's already starting to know that it needs to come down. Okay, so it's not opening up as badly as it was. Right, so I had put I fixed it. I had put my tape on a little bit too tight. See, I haven't worked it out very nicely. And that's exactly what happens. If you pull the tape when you put it on, then it pulls the whole file out of shape. Okay, so the last thing I need to do now is just cover the edges exactly the way we've done that. I like to do everything going down first, and then I'll finish off on the top. So I'm going to put some music on and just finish adding tape to my edges. Okay, so I have put tape around all the edges. I'm going to just show you how I did it across here. My file is pulling a little bit, but what I will do is I will add this clip overnight. So once it's done and I've put my paper on and everything, then I will just put this on like this, which will then force the memory into the direction I want it to be. And by tomorrow morning, this will then, see, it's already starting to be less openly like that. Okay, right, so I normally paint them. It's normally easier for me, but I just thought it was going to be way too messy and thought that this would be a better idea. But I must admit I prefer using washi tape to do the edges. It is a little bit more forgiving than the construction tape. Right, so what I do is I pull the tape, even if it's my washi tape, I pull it out so that it lines up on my cutting mat, and then attach the file. Just put the file down nicely, one side, and then let it lift up to go down the other side. So I'm not forcing it into place, I'm not pulling it, it's just gently attaching. Then trim off the excess like that. Close the file. Oops, obviously didn't get it on properly. Okay, so it just needs to grab a little bit. Okay, there we go. Right, so I'm going to then close my file so that there's no pull on the tape that I've added. And if there is, then now's the time for me to release it, and then just put it back down again. There we go, that's better. This one I can see the tension. So, and then there we go. Right, so that looks a little bit better. Right, then to do the corners, I will start, I will add my, pull this over to get the construction tape attached. Oh, I lied. Sorry. I need to do the corners first before I do that. Oh, right, let me see if I got this one straight. So to do the corner, I just pull this down like that. Oops, not straight enough. So at 90 degrees. Get that to there like that. Okay, and then just trim in. So if I turn it like this, it's easier maybe to see. So I cut in like this so that I can loosen up this corner here, and the same here, just trim in so I get to the corner so that it opens up like that for me. This one I can go in a little bit more like that. Okay, then just remove this little piece here. Okay, I'll pull this piece in straight like that, and then this piece will pull over neatly like that. Same thing this side. I'm going to pull this down so that it pulls on at 90 degrees. Okay, cut it. So just release that like that, and the same here. I'm just opening up. All I'm doing is just getting rid of any of some bulk. There we go. And I'm going to just cut that corner. If you have an easier way, you're welcome to do it. This is how I do it with a washi tape, and I found that this is the easiest way for me. So there we go. So now I can just move this tape in around there. And now my corners look pretty good. I'm going to then just from the inside pull the construction tape down like that. And same here, pull it down just to cover the edges like that. So any funny that you see here, we'll be able to hide with the pattern paper. Like that. Not pattern paper, I want to use washi tape there. Okay, so it should now close up quite nicely. Everything is bound and looking good. So like I said, I will probably leave it like this overnight, so that by tomorrow morning it's actually doing what I want it to do. Okay, but I don't have the luxury of waiting till tomorrow. I need to start putting my paper and stuff on now. All right, so the next step will be to add your pattern papers to the inside and to the outside page of your lever arch file. So I have already stuck everything down. I'm just going to run through the sizes with you. It's really very easy to just add what you need to. You can also paint the inside or add plain cardstock. You do not have to use pattern paper. Right, so for the inside cover, you need a piece that measures 20 centimeters across, 23 centimeters down. I used 7 centimeters across, 23 down for the spine. And then here I'd like paper pieced it. So this is 13.5 centimeters across, 23 down, 6.5 centimeters across and 6 down. There's 2 of them. And I stuck them in like that. And then I used some washi tape just to hide a little bit of the join, the white over here. I don't mind it so much over here, but I didn't really, it looked a bit odd. Yes, I put some washi tape. So remember that my measurements will be different to yours. So the way I figured it out is I actually measured from the edge of the lever arch file to this gap here. And you can make it smaller. You can make it 19.5 and then you'll have more of the black sticking out. But I really wanted good coverage of mine. So I measured this. So you will measure this and then decide if you want to make it 0.5 centimeter smaller or more or less the same size. Okay, and then when you attach it close to this part of your spine, and then also measure this way before you put in. So your lever arch file might be a bit bigger or smaller, so just measure first before you attach everything in. That's why I was reluctant to give too many sizes for this, but that's how you would do it. You just measure your space. You'll see even for my spine, I just measured from this piece to this piece, and I get my 7 centimeters, and then from there to there gives me my 23. Okay, and we are then going to do the same. I've left the front to do with you, but you're going to do the same at the back. You're going to measure your pieces and put it in. So mine is again 20 by 23, and my spine is 7 by 23. Okay, so I'm going to do the front with you. Right, to cover the front, I have already cut my front cover to be 20 centimeters across and 23 centimeters down, and I'm going to attach it like this. So close-ish to my edge, so that I have a nice black border all the way around. And I want to try and get it as straight as possible. I have put a repositional glue at the back of this. It just makes it easier for me to move where I need it to be, so that I can get it evenly spaced all the way around. Okay, and then I'll open that up and then just give it a good burnish. You need to work extra hard to get everything where it needs to be. Okay. Right, and then close it like that. Right, that's looking fine. And then my washi tape keeps lifting, so I'm just going to lift it up and put a little bit of glue behind it just to keep it in place. But what I will do when I'm done with everything is, and my pages are all done and I can take them out and put them aside, I'll go over the cover pattern papers with the inside and the outside. I'll go over with some gel medium, and that will keep everything exactly where it needs to be, and it'll also offer some protection to my paper so that it doesn't get scuffed anywhere. Right, so that's that. I've added a piece of washi tape there, 2 pieces there, 2 pieces here, and that then creates my visual triangle for when I put my title in. I'm first going to, oh, I have already added the spine. I keep forgetting. Right, so then I'm going to add my title. I need to decide where I want to have it. So I think over there looks good. Maybe one up, but it's sort of in line with that part of her tail. And then I have lines on lined paper, so that makes it easy for me to get my title nice and straight. So I'm using the title Memories Recorded for this, and then we can just burnish that down. Right, so that gives me my front, sides, back, insides, everything of the lever arch file decorated. If you're worried that this is going to lift, then maybe you should put some more washi tape all the way around. But I think that it's, once the gel medium is on, it's going to be pretty firm. So then, like I said, I would then tonight, to protect my pattern paper, I will put a piece of card around it like that. Just hold it, and then I will put this over it like that, and then leave it like that overnight, and by tomorrow morning it will be where it needs to be. It won't be, so it's already, you can see it's already starting to be less openy. Okay, it's already realizing that this is as far as what it should go. Right, then I want to put my insides back in.